Next, the American Melody Hour, brought to you by the National Endowment of the Arts and Big Read Waukesha, streaming live for you from the Waukesha Public Library, whose current read is When the Emperor Was Divine by Julie Asuka, and dedicated to the tobacconists of America who supply you genuine Muriel cigars. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the American Melody Hour, bringing you the top songs of the day so you can know them all and sing them all yourself. Stars of tonight's performance: Steve Decker, Candace Decker, Phil Smith, and the American Melody Hour one-man band. The American Melody Hour begins now with Candace Decker, whose suitcase is packed on her way to catch a train down memory lane, singing the ever-popular Sentimental Journey.
Gonna take a sentimental journey, gonna feel my heart at ease, gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, I got my reservation, spend each time I could afford, like a child in wild anticipation. I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7, and I'll be riding up to heaven, counting all the miles of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roll? I'm gonna make a sentimental journey home. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Phil Smith and the American Melody Hour one-man band. Today's new Muriel, the fine cigar. The pleasure that we give you treats me better so far. I'm today's new Muriel. Why don't you pick me up and smoke me sometime?
Everybody likes the rabbits, really they do. It's luxury light and it's flavor for you. She's today's new Muriel. Hello, why?
You gotta like me, friend. I'm just your type.
Everywhere we go, they seem to like the shape. Fun and trim and handsome, so easy to take.
I'm today's new Muriel.
Only a dime.
Why don't you pick me up and smoke me sometime. Muriel, smoke Muriel cigars.
On last week's show, a young tenor named Mario Lanza wowed our audience with his rendition of Verdi's La Donna e Mobile. Although most of our listeners were very appreciative, a small segment of our listening audience, women who speak Italian, were offended by this song about how fickle women are. Here, with a rebuttal, is our own girl singer, Miss Candace Decker.
Men are so rigid, they're ice in a frigidaire, cold and immovable. This fact is provable. Faces are chiseled, but with age they fizzled. Fools they are proving when their mouths are moving. Once their minds decided, you can never fight it. You will find them never change their minds. Never change their minds. Never change their minds. Women, your thoughts and fears matter less to him than beers. Share not your confidence. Men have no common sense. Secrets eternal. Once their minds decided, you can never fight it. You will find them never change their minds. Never change their minds. Never change their minds.
Hi, kids.
Hi, Ketso.
Kids, let's all sing the Ked song.
If you want shoes with lots of pep, get Keds, kids, Keds. For bounce and zoom in every step, get Keds, kids, Keds. You'll be a champion with style. Hit that ball a half a mile. They're tough, they last a long, long while. Keds, kids, Keds.
There's a pair of smart youngsters. Hi, kids.
Hi, Ketso.
Say, why do you kids wear Keds?
So I can run faster and jump farther.
So I can win more often.
Right. Always look
For the label big and blue, Keds, kids, Keds. That spells out U.S. Keds for you, Keds, kids, Keds. Those shock arches sure are neat. The right support for growing feet. So be a champion athlete, Keds, kids, Keds.
Product of United States Rubber. Tinkling the ivories this evening is our own American Melody Hour one-man band, Phil Smith. Go ahead, sit back, and relax with this Debussy piano solo. And now here is a recap of the news. On December 7th, 1941, a date that will live in infamy, the United States was drawn unwillingly into the conflict that would become known as the Second World War. The Japanese launched a surprise attack on the American naval base at Pearl Harbor in the Hawaiian Islands. Hitler's Nazi Germany and Mussolini's fascist Italian state have joined Japan as our adversaries in a war whose outcome will determine whether freedom will survive on this planet. Young men living in the land of the free and home of the brave, Uncle Sam wants you for the U.S. Army. Defend American freedom. It's everybody's job.
I'm off to Yokohama for the Red Riding, my country and you. Goodbye, Mama, I'm off to Yokohama just to teach all those Japs the Yanks are no saps. 1,000,000 fighting sons of Uncle Sam, if you please. We'll soon have all those Japs right down on their knees. So goodbye, Mama, I'm off to Yokohama for my country, my flag, and you.
Say goodbye to Mama, you're off to Yokohama, so be brave and be strong. You won't be gone long. Say bye-bye, Mama, the land of Yama Yama until April, I guess, will be your address. On Christmas Eve when Dad and I are trimming the tree, we'll do your share of trimming out on land on sea. Say goodbye, Mama, you're off to Yokohama for your country, your flag, and goodbye, Mama, he's off to Yokohama for the red, white, and blue, his country and you. Goodbye, Mama, he's off to Yokohama just to teach all those Japs those Yanks are no saps. 1,000,000 fighting sons of Uncle Sam, if you please. We'll soon have all those Japs right down on their Japanese. So goodbye, Mama, he's off to Yokohama for my country, my flag, and you.
Fighting for freedom makes a man good and hungry for a portable snack on his way to attack the enemy. A word now from one of our sponsors for a tropical treat that gives you energy to protect America's freedom.
I'm Chiquita Banana, and I'm here to say bananas have to ripen in a certain way. When they're flecked with brown and heavy golden hue, bananas taste the best and they are best for you. You can put them in a salad, you can put them in a pie, any way you want to eat it. It's impossible to beat it. The bananas like the climate of the very, very tropical equator. So you should never put bananas in the refrigerator.
A special announcement from your local movie theater and the Motion Picture Association of America. We of the United States are not alone in the world. We tried to live alone, isolated from the rest of the world, and hoped to remain unmolested. We tried it. It didn't work. Along came Pearl Harbor, and we can't do it alone now. We need the United Nations, and the United Nations need us. It's not enough to send across the sea the weapons for victory. We must also send the necessities of life to those suffering as victims of Axis barbarism, in whose breasts the flame of freedom still burns so fiercely. To these, our heroic allies, we must give food, clothing, medicines, everything, so that they can grow strong enough to rebuild themselves. We want money for the United Nations. The funds collected in this and all other motion picture theaters will be turned over to the National War Fund for allocation. Coming to a theater near you, James Cagney as an aeroplane pilot, and Betty Davis as a runaway heiress in an American screwball comedy, The Bride Came C.O.B. And now, back to the American Melody Hour.
I'm a cranky old yank in a cranky old tank, and heading for a hullabaloo. I'll be riding my tank through a Tokyo bank, or as I'm an army blue. And when I set my khaki down in old Nagasaki, it's singing like a wacky jackaroo. And you bet my cracky, Suki yaki wacky, looking mighty tacky when I do. I'm a cranky old yank. I'll be riding my sweet little hanky-danky tank from the streets of Yokohama, my Honolulu mama, singing those big old Fladamacito,
He's a cranky old yank in a clanky old tank, and he's headed for a hullabaloo. He'll be riding his tank through a Tokyo bank, sure as he's an army buckaroo.
When I set my khaki down in old Nagasaki, I'll be singing like a wacky jackaroo. You can bet my cracky every sukiyaki wacky will be looking mighty tacky when you do.
He's a cranky old yank in a clanky old tank, and he's headed for a hullabaloo.
I'll be riding my swank little hanky-danky tank through the streets of Yokohama with my Honolulu mama, singing those beat-o,
Singing those beat-o,
Fladamacito,
Hirohito, here's some blues.
Just in at the news desk, a new evacuation order, which may affect 200,000 Pacific Coast enemy aliens and their American-born children, was awaited today as governors of states between the Rocky Mountains and the Mississippi announced they would permit Japanese aliens to live only in concentration camps if they were moved inland. A proclamation will be issued shortly, designating military areas for the Japanese. Nevertheless, executives of the Japanese American Citizens League were preparing their members for complete evacuation from the coast. They pledged wholehearted cooperation with the Army. Gentlemen, as you settle in for an evening by the fire, safe and sound at home, give thanks and toast to our troops abroad while you enjoy Carling's Black Label Beer, an American Melody Hour sponsor, and relax in your favorite chair with your family by your side.
home sweet home, that little nest, where after work a man can rest and take a peaceful stroll outdoors, doing little simple chores.
Weed the garden, cut the grass, paint the window, fix the glass, trim the shop, regrind the axe, but take it easy, dear. relax.
Oh, these little women have a way, but maybe I forgot to say, she always has my favorite brand. Cards Black Label beer.
What a happy thought! Hey, Mabel, a great idea! Black Label, nothing too good for good company. Carly's Black Label beer, the quality brew at the popular price. Enjoy the best, take our advice. Get Carly's Black Label, Carly's Black Label beer. Mabel, Black Label, Carly's Black Label beer.
We'll continue to unwind with the American Melody Hour now as Phil Smith entertains with his piano stylings of Deep Purple. more in on the Japanese evacuees recently located to camps on the West Coast. Some volunteered to evacuate their homes and also asked to write a brief statement explaining the feelings of the Japanese who were loyal to the United States. American-born Japanese Miss Chie Mori of Los Angeles states, "If Japan wins this war, we have the most to lose. We hope America wins, and quickly. We voluntarily evacuated as the only means by which we could demonstrate our loyalty. We want to share in the war effort. We want to share the gloom of temporary defeats and the joys of ultimate victory. We are deeply concerned with our American citizenship, which we prize above all else." Back to our programming. We too are thinking of all the servicemen separated from their families and anyone displaced by this war the Japanese brought to our soil. A trio of songs now featuring Candace Decker and Phil Smith. For those of you separated by the ones you love and far from home.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail? A smile through a veil, well, well. So you think you can tell?
Can't you trade your heroes for ghosts? Hot ashes for trees, hot air for cold, cold breeze, cold comfort for change. Did you exchange a walk-on part in one for Negro in a cage?
How I wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground,
Whatever fire,
the same old fears. Wish you were here. Wish you were here. So many memories. Sometimes I think I'll cry. So many thoughts of you that simply will not die. day wondering where you may be. All night I'm dreaming you're still with me. Into each lonely hour you seem to come and go. The happiness you bring, oh, you'll never, never know. For though you left me too. So many memories of you. All day wondering where you may be. All night I'm dreaming you're still with me. Into each lonely hour you seem to come and go. The happiness you bring, you'll never, never know. For though you left me too. So many memories of you. When they begin, it brings back the sound of music so tender. It brings back a night of tropical splendor. It brings back a memory evergreen. I'm with you once more under the stars, and down by the shore an orchestra's playing, and even the pubs they seem to be swaying. Oh, when they begin. To live it again is past all endeavor, except when that tune, it clutches my heart, and there we are, swearing to love forever, and promising never, oh, never to part. What moments divine, what rapture serene, till clouds came along to disperse the joys we had tasted. And now when I hear people curse the chance that was wasted, I know but too well what they mean. So don't let them begin, let the love that was once on fire remain and ever. Let it sleep like the dead desire I only remember. When they begin, the begin. Oh yes, let them begin, till the stars that will never before return above you. me know what heaven we're in when they begin. Oh, begin.
A special dispatch report passed by military authorities is the first close-up report from a newspaperman who has visited one of the Japanese concentration centers. United Press staff correspondent Harry Ferguson reports.
This is the youngest, strangest city in the world, inhabited by Japanese who hoist American flags, put up pictures of George Washington, and pray to the Christian God for the defeat of Japan's armed forces. There is no fence around Manzanar now, and while U.S. soldiers guard the main gate, there is nothing to prevent a Japanese from slipping away at night except the knowledge that he undoubtedly would be caught. Nobody has tried it.
Oh, give me land, lots of land under spicy skies above. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Turn me off forever, but I ask you please. Don't fence me in. Just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western skies. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences and gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. I can't look hobbles and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Mr. Phil Smith. Just turn me loose, let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western skies. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences and gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. I can't look at others and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Yippee-ki-yay, don't fence me in.
And now, a word from our sponsor, Gillette, keeping our men abroad smooth as silk as they fight the enemy afar.
Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp and listen, mister. How are you fixed for a blade?
That's it.
How are you fixed for a blade?
Better chance.
Please be sure you have enough, 'cause a worn out blade makes shaving pretty rough. How are you fixed for a blade? Gillette blades are here.
Continuing our special dispatch report on Japanese concentration centers from United Press staff correspondent Harry Ferguson.
Most of the inhabitants are Japanese who have tasted American democracy and found it good. Probably 95% at least of the Japanese here are loyal to the United States. There are all types of Japanese being held here, rich, poor, old, young, all born in the United States. Also the Issei, which translates to older persons having been born in Japan. Many of the loyal ones came here with fear and doubt in their hearts, expecting a Nazi-type concentration camp. Instead, they found comfortable wooden buildings covered with tar paper, bathhouses, and showers. Plenty of wholesome food. Boys and girls make dates for dancing and for the movies. Japanese couples fall in love. A baby has been born. The Japanese play solitaire. The lives of the inhabitants have fallen quickly into the normal pattern of living.
Sometimes I wonder where I've been, who I am, do I fit in, make believing it's hard alone, out here on my own. We're always proving who we are, always reaching for that rising star to guide me far and shine me home, out here on my own. When I'm down and I'm feeling blue, I close my eyes so I can be with you. Oh, baby, be strong for me. Baby, belong to me. Help me through, help me need you. Until the morning the sun appears, making light of all our fears. I dry the tears that I've never shown out here on my own. But when I'm down and I'm feeling blue, I close my eyes so I can be with you. Oh, baby, be strong for me. Baby, belong to me. Sometimes I wonder where I've been, who I am, do I fit in? I may not win, but I can't be thrown. Hurry on my own. On my own.
And now, we take great pleasure in presenting to you the star of our program, Miss Candace Decker.
Hello, everybody. It is my happy privilege to sing for you a song made famous by Miss Kate Smith, a song about America. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us pledge allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light up above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with fun. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet
Thank you for tuning in tonight to our National Endowment for the Arts Waukesha Big Read Cabaret 1940s American Melody Hour. Thank you, Phil Smith, Candace Decker, and I am Steve Decker. Before we go and depart for this evening, a word from our girl singer, Candace Decker.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight for the reading of When the Emperor Was Divine and this 1940s cabaret. We want to thank Corey Hall, and we want to thank Sarah Poppy, who helped us set up all the technical aspects of this cabaret. This is our 9th cabaret for Waukesha Reads, and it's our very first virtual cabaret. So that was very new for us. But if those of you who have come to the cabaret before, you know, the incredibly talented Phil Smith always writes one last song. And so we have that in store for you. And this song is an original song based on the book chosen this year. The original song is Two Hearts Under the Same Moon, inspired by the National Endowment of the Arts, Waukesha Big Read, When the Emperor Was Divine. Two hearts under the same moon, though we are miles apart, my heart, you know, is true. Two hearts under the same moon, and like that orb above, our love is full anew.
They've taken you far away from me. Who knows if I'll see you again?
But when the night takes the day from me, I smile as the moon is my friend. Two hearts singing the same tune.
There's no time like the present.
You're as fine as a crescent moon. It's a matter of trust, they said. Get on the bus, they said. We'll all be safer with you not around. He might be a spy, they said. Look at those eyes, they said. Helping the emperor put troops on the ground. We could have been quarantined, questioned some Morning Street. We could have lied and said we were Chinese. We could have been sterilized, bankrupted, ostracized. Could have been shot or deported with ease. Even if they reunite us when this is through, it same America we come back to. Hearts under the same moon, torn apart by your racist fear, my dear, and I you pay. Two hearts under the same moon, unlike that love above, our love will never wane.
When this war is a memory, will it write about us in the text?
If our bloodline makes us the enemy, pay attention, for you could be next. Two hearts, pray we'll be one soon.
We pledge ourselves to this war.
We're just two loyal Americans under the moon.
Good people, thank you for joining us, and good night.